Oh yeah.
What's going on, Carson?
Not much. How you been, dude? You've
Oh,
been waiting in the wings.
yeah,
You've been
just
getting
waiting.
crispy. You've been getting clean.
I've been waiting. In the bottom left, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to waste any more time. In the bottom left, playing for Dust Gaming. Give it up for the AO Duck Micro. It's Please Leave Duck. And a sick pause timing right before he needs an introduction.
Yeah.
Ping
Well,
200, 1 sec. Okay.
it does happen on occasion.
The
People
banter.
having some spikes. Yeah, sometimes the host spots are just, or not the host spots, the hosts themselves, with the lack of host spots, are a little bit wonky. Sometimes people have high ping. Both these players, East Coast. So East Coast of Canada, East Coast of the United States. So the ping, not always the greatest.
Should definitely not be 200, though. Might be on Europe.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I moved to Europe in between the first series and the second series.
You do live on an island, though, so maybe the tethering...
Yeah, the tethering.
Oh, that's a big word for me, so hopefully that works out. But INSUP says okay. Try. Yikes. And here we go. Without further ado, Neil, let's finish this introduction. I started it and I'm gonna finish it. In the bottom right. Or sorry, the top right.
The creeps!
in the bottom right, Doug Redcap. He plays for Oceanus. He's the huge favorite. Is he going to get upset by Duck, or is he going to shut this fool up? It is INSUPERABLE. And very interesting openers from both players. We got, looks like Philbot Fiends from Duck. We did see that Cripplord Fiend opener from him earlier. And it looks like just standard Ted Fiends from INSUP. And this is actually what Duck played into, Carson. He said, didn't he say like, oh yeah, he goes DK opener to counter Cripplord, but he hasn't played a Cripplord user that actually knows what he's doing like I do. So this is literally both players talking smack. Oh my, oh no.
This is kind of, at least from my experience watching his ladder games, not so much his tournament games. 120 does this. He does the fast fiend build into a Lich. He just goes solo Lich until it's level 5. I've seen him do that quite a bit on his streams in the past. How good it is in tournament games against a well-prepared opponent such as INSUP, I'm not too sure, but very cool out of Duck. Is this a misclick? Did he mean to queue up the Cripplord, Ricky?
I don't know. Duck is he does some weird metagames. We know that he likes to play with people's minds, saying like, hey, you can't deal with my Cripplord. Go figures that Duck's probably not going to make her Cripplord this entire series. Could be the giant bamboozle we've been waiting for. But INSUP is here, INSUP's ready, and he's expecting Cripplord first, right? He's going to be a little surprised when he sees the Lich, but he's already in time to steal an Ogre Warrior, which is huge. The Lich definitely wants to start getting some experience, and once he sees that Lich, he's going to go...
Nova was going to surprise him, and he gets it. That's actually kind of cool. So what this does, sorry, I cut you off a little bit, but what this does is it forces INSUP to go for instant harassment, because that's how you need to deal with the Cripplord expansion. You need to come over here, you need a coil steal, you need to slow down the Cripplord's creeping. So he forces INSUP with this fast fiend build to come across and have a bad opener just for it to be a Lich, and he can't even get last hits with coil now because there's Nova.
Very, very good. Very interesting. Good timing as well. Ends up faking out the coil, but that's not going to work on 159. There we go. He might steal this one. He does steal this one. And I think INSUP's going to have a little bit more coils than Duck will have Novas, but he used them in the right spot. He might be able to keep his experience. Duck might coming around, might steal this other Trapper as well. And now we're having a Skelly battle.
Yeah, lots of skeletons. The second Trapper will go to Duck, so experience advantage for him. He does have a sacrificial skull, so maybe it will be a fast expansion, in which case this harassment from INSUP, definitely not the worst choice. Skeleton gonna go down 12 more experience, and this will almost give the Lich level 2. And he's just gotta finish off his creep camp.
He's keeping that 6th Acolyte. In fact, it's being rallied to the expansion right now, Carson, so this will be an expansion opener, I believe, staying on tier 1. And this is very interesting. He's got a lot of Fiends now. He's got a lot more units than INSUP will have going Ted Fiends. He's only got the first one, second one rallying much later. But this is going to allow Duck to hold this, because how can Duck really defend or combat this with less Fiends and ultimately going against Nova with level 1 coil?
Yeah, absolutely, and the pressure's on the Death Knight now. There's still 2 Novas. INSUP did get the coil steal on the Big Ogre Magi, so that's a really good boost to the experience for INSUP. But for Duck, he's got a lot of mana still. He's going to get level 2, and with that, he can start killing some of those skeletons to get more mana, and he's already got a full tank of mana right now, full tank of gas, and the Death Knight's going back. And what's INSUP's response? Dark Ranger is what we talk about a lot against the Crippler, but is Dark Ranger really good against Lich Fiends? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's weird. It's going to be weird to see if INSUP just wants to go straight to tier 3 and break later, maybe go for a counter expansion at tier 2, or if he wants to push. This is definitely going to be hard. The Nerubian Tower probably going up for Duck right away, and I like the position of it too, right in the middle of everything. Can see, can get good vision on everything, and it looks like Duck's just creeping. And the good thing for Duck is I feel like Duck's been playing his whole game this entire time. Like, this feels like if you're going to go Lich Fiends, everything's looking so far so good. It's up to INSUP now to make a decision on what he wants to do.
And Duck gets a couple of green camps now, getting closer and closer to level 3. If he had gotten that Ogre Magi earlier, this would be the level 2 Nova. So a nice steal from INSUP earlier, but Duck got the replenishment potion. He's back up to full hit points on the Lich. He got the Boots of Speed, and he gets another Rotter Necromancy. And with that, more Dark Ritual, with that, more Novas. And here comes INSUP with 3 Fiends, and the gold mine is not yet up, but the Nerubian Tower is.
Yeah, this could get very dicey. You get in a position like this where you're Duck, you're really just frantically trying to keep your expansion up. Now he's going to be facing a DK and the Lich coming in with support. And INSUP will probably have a similar amount of Fiend count at this point because Duck's going to be relying on trying to tech. So Duck needs to hold this. He also needs to figure out a way to get level 3 on his Lich. If he creeps out this Merc camp, that's going to be really good. But yeah, but a Rallying Acolyte actually
2.
died.
That's the second one so far. Yeah, 2 Acolytes have died to that Mercenary camp. INSUP did pull it with a skeleton, so it's kind of a forced mistake. Okay, but now Duck is getting wise enough. He's rallying it up. And yeah, that'll be the 5th Acolyte on the gold mine. And now Duck's going to get this Lich level 3. And the Nova level 2 is going to be really nice. But INSUP's getting the shop in the meantime. Wanda Mana Stealing, not a bad pickup.
Yeah, the tech is looking really good for INSUP at this point. If he can creep up his DK level 3, he can take fights, even if it's outside the expansion, just against a Nerubian. And that's what INSUP wants to do. But if in this case, if you're going tier 3, Carson, do you just go for hero levels and just continue to creep the whole map? Here's Duck, though.
Oh, really out of position, denying that Fiend, but the surround is always a risk when you're up against someone like INSUP. Okay, the statue's going to get caught out, maybe take a little bit of damage, but the Nova's just picking off Fiend after Fiend. That's 2 Fiend kills for INSUP, and that's level 3 on the Death Knight, and there's still plenty of coils. Duck's trying to hold, but he's only got the 1 Nerubian.
Oh, he move commanded. He's about to lose 3 Fiends. GG's called. Yeah, he definitely caught out of position, and that was that's a bit of a rough one. Not exactly how I thought the game was going to go.
When tactics don't work, eh?
Yeah, I mean, the game looked like it was okay, and then Duck just kind of move commanded and lost 3 units. That's pretty much what just happened there, but I mean, INSUP was still looking really good. His tech was looking good. It didn't seem like Duck had the edge. He misrallied a couple Acolytes. His tech was behind. His expansion was behind. Not the greatest execution. Duck's trying to switch it up. He's down 0-1. Do you stick to your guns and beat him with Criplord, or what do you do?
That is a very good question. I hope Duck finds the answer. We'll be right back. Match points INSUP. And we're back. Duck promised us the 2-0, but maybe this will backfire a little as iNSUP takes map number 1. Interesting opening, but didn't work out at all. iNSUP getting way more steals than he was supposed to, and then the game didn't really work that way anymore. Next map is Northern Isles.
Yeah, and Duck had a nice strategy prepared. It was interesting, but the execution, not really there. Kind of losing a few fiends that he didn't need to. Maybe could have been a little bit more patient with holding the expansion. Maybe could have got that last hit on the Ogre Magi, but it's a new map, it's a new world, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. Maybe he's got a chance to take game 2.
Love your music references, Carson. This was, by the way, iNSUP's map number 1, and now it's Duck's choice. Here we go. Once I find, the right position. Here we go. Oh boy, I love me some smack talk. So much for the 2-0, eh?
And it's only just begun. And Duck sending him a little smiley, a little bit of respect there. But yeah, I think game number 2, shake it off. Northern Isles. You want me to do an intro? I'll do an intro. In the bottom left, currently up 1 game from Oceanus Gaming. It is the Canadian Undead player iNSUPERABLE. And in the top right, playing for Dust Gaming. Hopefully you can turn this around. See what kind of strategy he goes for this time. It's Dust Gaming's Please Leave Duck.
This chat, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
just back and forth, like...
I honestly didn't want to play Hitman, he says, but now I'll try, says Duck. So he's trying. Apparently, now it's all engines engaged. Okay, light speed, baby. And iNSUP says, why don't you start with killing a unit? Classic NA, baby. Always counting the amount of units lost. And now Duck changed it up a little bit, still going for the Lich, but going for the ghouls. iNSUP sticking to his guns, sticking to what works, and why wouldn't you? Sticking to the Ted Fiends.
Yeah, this is a very interesting opener from Duck. The Lich Ghouls probably going to see some early harassment, and if iNSUP's if he's out of position, or if he doesn't put down that Nerubian, if Duck micros this correctly, you can definitely do some serious damage in the early game as you progress into Tier 2 tech, right? So it's going to come down to how Duck wants to execute this. It's going to come down to the scouting of iNSUP. He's going to bring this Acolyte back, actually. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's one thing to try to steal the creep, but you definitely want to see beforehand what you're up against. He sees the Lich right away. Nova coming in. Do we see a quick Nerubian or not?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It will be about the scouting. For 1, seeing the Lich with the Acolyte. And for 2, seeing when the Lich is coming across the map. Sometimes you'll creep a little bit, get level 2, get level 3 on the Lich, and then come across. Sometimes you'll just go with your first 5 ghouls, and I think that's what we see Duck doing. But iNSUP, always prepared for all the options, already sees. He's dropping the town portal. The classic.
Yeah, just buying time. Go for it, bro. I dare you. Interesting coil.
Yeah, how much damage will it do? Okay, he had full mana, and it is going to do a little bit of damage to the ghouls. Actually, that might have been worth it. Yeah,
Wow,
that's got 1 ghoul to half health already, and he had full mana. What are you going to use the coils on? Your Acolytes, your ghouls? But, the regen's already started.
And here we go. The ghouls are here. There's Skellies. There's a Nerubian now. iNSUP is well prepared. He's in his base. He's not out of position at all. Is Duck going to get any damage done here? He's frantically trying to get in there, but there's no way iNSUP's going to open the door. He's blocking with units. This is not a good early game for Duck. He definitely wanted to get in there, do some damage, catch him off guard, but that's not going to be the case at all. iNSUP has his number in every regard so far.
One thing going Duck's way is iNSUP's lumber's a little bit low, his gold's a little bit low because of that forced Nerubian, and iNSUP doesn't want to tech until he knows he's guaranteed safe. So Duck will have a little bit of a tech advantage. Once he returns that lumber at home, he should be teching, and he is. So he's going to get a little bit of an advantage. We see iNSUP 2 towers already, not cutting any corners, playing it very safe.
Wow, I didn't expect that second Spirit Tower going down. He's very much hoping that Duck just dives in here. But like you said, if Duck just wants to creep around the map and have the faster tech, he can go into the mid game more patiently. He doesn't have to dive in and be so aggressive. But looks like iNSUP might try to pick off a few ghouls here. He's got 1 Fiend, a second one rallying in. Makes you a little bit more comfortable to fight.
Absolutely. 1 skeleton eating the ensnare and expires right away. A ghoul maybe gonna fall. There's no aura yet, but the Death Knight should be fast enough on that horse to take it down. Another one going the wrong way, but it is gonna turn around and get out of there. So 1 ghoul killed. And Duck is trying to go back into the main base, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to get done.
Yeah, Spirit Tower and Nerubian, it's not going to be easy. It's easier said than done, that's for sure. Another Fiend beginning rally. There's way too many towers here, and look at that. Duck comes back in and out. GG, and that's a shut-up fool right there.
Shut the Duck